Welcome to Thursday's solo episode. I just recorded 2 minutes and realized that my microphone was not even on. And this is what happens because right now I'm using my... Oh, and see, Sean said I'm not supposed to see the zebra prints on the camera. So remember when Sean came to my house and he set up the cameras so that I could use my high quality cameras for the solo episodes and for when people come to record in person? So that's what I'm doing today. I set it up. But then as soon as my routine for recording changes up even a little bit, something will mess up. So for example, I forgot to even turn on my microphone. If I would have recorded this whole episode and the microphone wasn't on, I would have lost my mind, but then just recorded it again. But I'm so busy today. Obviously last week we were at Disneyland. I didn't get anything done. And so Mondays are always busy, but today is times 10 because I'm catching up on things and trying to get ahead of things again. So it is Monday. We returned from Disneyland on Friday. And I thought I would kind of explain how we even ended up at Disneyland because I still am trying to process that and how did that happen? It's so crazy. I got an email a while ago asking if I would like this opportunity to take 4 people to Disneyland, and you would have passes for the parks each day, and there were certain things scheduled into our itinerary because they were doing an international creators event. So there were people there from all over the world who are on social media, like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And I was expecting it to be all families with little kids, but it wasn't. There were a handful of families, people that had little kids, but for the most part, it was all kinds of creators. There was young, single people, there were older people. It was a nice mix of people. So I was part of the Canada group, obviously. So throughout the week, we had certain meals planned together. At the end, the last night, we had a big dinner with everybody, which was beautiful and so nice. They had a band playing Disney songs. That's where we got our pictures taken with Buzz and Woody. It was just the coolest thing. And so many people are like, is it worth it to go to Disney if you're not a Disney person? I was never a Disney person. I didn't grow up going to Disney. I've only been to Disney World, which is the one in Orlando, once. And I don't remember much about it. I remember liking Space Mountain. But other than that, I really don't remember much. I couldn't even tell you if we just went there for the day or if we stayed overnight. I have the worst memory in the world. But yeah, I know I went to Disney. I was probably 15 and didn't think much of it. I love Disney movies, obviously, who doesn't? And that was kind of the extent of it. And so recently, my husband and I were thinking about planning a Disney trip to bring Milo because I wanted him to be a little bit older before we, spent a lot of money going on a vacation like that, because I wanted him to remember it. I wanted him to understand what was going on, appreciate things, enjoy things, be excited about things. And I feel when they're really young, you don't necessarily get that. But I was surprised at all the people that had young kids, really young kids. And I'm assuming the parents are Disney people. And so for them, it's really special to bring their little kids. But for my personality, our situation, I'm happy that we brought Milo when he was 5 years old. He's 5.5 now. Would I have enjoyed it? We were lucky because we had my mom there. So my husband and I could do things in the evenings on our own if Milo and my mom decided to stay back at the hotel, because you do get exhausted like walking around all day. So we had an evening to go do things on our own. Also, I will say, because Milo is 5.5, he is tall enough to go on the majority of the rides and experiences, which was also nice because you didn't feel like you were missing out on things because your kids can't go on the rides. So that was a bonus because he could actually go on things that were really fun. Let me look at my little notes here. So it was a creator event. I was allowed 4 people. We ended up booking an extra room because a lot of people, it was like 2 kids and parents. So I think that's why they allowed 4 people. For us, we only have 1 kid, so we were able to bring another adult, which was really lovely. But we ended up booking a second room on our own so that we had 2 rooms. Obviously, like 3 adults and a child in 1 room is crazy, especially when there's 2 adults in that group of 4 that snore. Okay. And I will say, I brought my Bose headphones that play. You know how I love a sound machine? So these Bose headphones are basically like playing a sound machine in your ears all night. And they worked really well. Really well. I could hardly hear my mom snoring. And if I did, I would like turn them up a little bit. Sometimes it would hurt one ear to like lay on, if you have an earplug in or something and then you lay on a pillow on that ear and it hurts. So sometimes I would take the earplug out that was that was pressed against the pillow, if that makes sense. But yeah, they worked amazing, which is good to know because I'm always so hesitant to travel with people that snore and share a room because like you do not want to not sleep at Disneyland. And so I was like, great, I'm going to sleep with someone that snores. And it was luteal phase, which there's always a stretch of days where I don't sleep very well. That never happened this time. And I'm going to credit all the things that Miranda has been having me do because I have been doing them like religiously since I started working with her early January, I think, or no, beginning of February. I don't remember. Since my last period anyways. And so her whole thing is like, if you're doing these things in menstrual or follicular phase, ovulation phase, then luteal phase, like you're setting yourself up for symptom-free phases after the fact. The whole time we were in Disney, I didn't do anything I was supposed to do, like not one thing. I did focus on protein, hence the turkey leg, but I think that's why my luteal phase has not been what it usually is, which was great because I slept really well at Disney. You're also exhausted by the evening, but so things that I wanted to go over, I wanted to kind of talk about what our ideal day was at Disneyland. And this would apply to anybody with young kids. If you're thinking about going to Disney, this is how I would do it. I always heard people talk about, and I saw people, so our creator events usually started before the park even opened. So we would meet up with everybody at 6:30 a.m. And I think the parks open at 7 a.m., if I'm correct. So we were already in the park before the gates actually opened and they were letting the public in. But as we would walk into the park before it opened, you would see all the people lined up waiting to get in. And I was like, oh my God, it's hard to think about. Like we had to get up early and get our shit together and get to the park because we were meeting with people and there was like photos that we had to take. And so it was like, okay, we have to do this. But it's hard when you're on vacation to wake up early with an alarm. Like you're waking up earlier than you would maybe at home, especially when there's like a time change and you're jet lagged. It was a lot. But once you're up and out the door, it's totally fine. So in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I don't think I could come to Disneyland and wait at the gate for the doors to open so early. But now that I've experienced it, I 100% recommend waking up early and getting your ass in line to get in the park right away once it opens. Because we did our best park Disney stuff early morning. So as soon as it turned 7 o'clock, your Genie Plus starts working so you can book your first ride. We would book Milo's favorite ride, which was the Big Thunder Railroad coaster. I know I mixed up those words. That's not what it's called, but you know what I mean. And so as soon as it would be 7 o'clock, we're already in the park. I would book that ride for us. And it would be like right away. Like in the morning, the Genie Plus options are so much better and faster. It's like you can get on a ride right away. Whereas if you wait till the afternoon, if you pick a ride, let's say you want to get on the Incredicoaster, it's not going to be for like 3 hours. So you have to kind of keep yourself busy for 3 hours until you can go on your roller coaster that you booked. So you can wait in line for another one, but you can't book more than one ride at a time with Genie Plus, which is kind of nice because it prevents people from just like taking over all the rides, you know? So in the park, 7 a.m., book your first ride. And as soon as, so let's say it's like 7 and it'll be like, okay, you can get on your ride at 8 a.m. So go have some breakfast. As soon as you log in for that ride, as you're walking through the lane to get on the ride, you book your next one. So I would look at what was around that ride and book something nearby so that we could go on it right away. When you do book a ride on the Genie Plus, you have an hour window to check in, which is nice because, you know, you might have to walk a little bit. You might want to grab something to eat before you go to the next one. So it's really nice to have the hour window. But it's important to have a little bit of a plan. So as soon as Genie Plus opens up, you're in the park as soon as it opens, book your ride. As soon as you check in for that ride, know what you're going to be booking next so that you can do it as soon as you check in. So you can do that. You can get on like 4, 5, 6 things depending on how like quickly you move, like early in the morning. And that is what I would recommend doing until like 11:30. So you've already been in the park for 8, 9, 10, 11, like 4 hours, and you've done so much, and it's only 11:30. Then I would say, if you're waiting in line at a ride or you're walking from one ride to the next, you want to book a mobile food order through the app. The Disneyland app is unreal. I feel like the world in general should just have an app like this for everything. So you can go to the mobile order thing. It'll show you what's near you, all the restaurants and available dining options. You can click Start Mobile Order, and then you can choose a window of time. So let's say you're going on a ride or you guys are going to use the bathroom or whatever. You can say, okay, in 45 minutes, I'm going to book this window for a mobile food order. And if you end up having to change that, you can pick a different window. You can switch it. So that is genius. So let's say you're on a roller coaster at 11, or you just checked into a roller coaster, you're waiting in line. You can go to mobile food orders and be like, okay, at 11:45 to 12:15, let's like you create your order of everything that you want at this restaurant that's nearby the roller coaster. Submit the order, and then there's an option to say, I'm here, start preparing my order. So once you are getting close to the restaurant, you click Start Preparing My Order. And then you wait like 5 minutes and it'll ding on the app and say your order is ready to be picked up. Then you just walk to where you pick up the mobile orders and all your food and everything is going to be ready for you in a bag. It is genius. And I had to bring to my mom's attention after our trip. It was like on the last day or something. I was like, Mom, think about it. We never once waited for food, waited to go pee, nothing. Like, my husband and I waited for a ride once because we were on our own and we had time. It's kind of hard to wait in line for a long period of time with kids. So we probably did maybe less experiences and rides, but I still feel like we did a lot because we were at the park so early. We could get in those Genie Plus bookings, like bang, 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 like one after another. So the ideal day, you're there right when it opens, you're Genie Plusing as much as you can until like lunchtime. Mobile food order your lunch. Go pick up your lunch, sit down. We never once were looking for a place to sit. Like we always had a spot to sit, to eat, have your lunch. And then I would say walk back to your hotel. We were staying on the park. So that's another thing that I highly recommend because it's very nice when you have little kids to be able to go back to your hotel to chill for a bit before dinner and evening. So on your way back to the hotel, you walk through downtown Disney. We stop at some stores, pick up some things, like whatever, grab an ice cream, whatever you want to do. Get back to the hotel, chill for a moment. You're going to be tired. You're walking a lot. One day it was nice. We actually went to the pool outside the hotel, which was beautiful. We had chairs to sit on. It's a beautiful pool at the Disneyland Hotel. And we ordered drinks. They have poolside service. And then we also did the mobile food order at the little restaurant that was outside our hotel, which was delicious. It was called like Tangaroa Grill or something. Unreal food. Like, we did not have a bad meal the entire week. Everything was delicious, including the coffee. Like, the coffee was not bad. Like, the coffee was delicious. It's crazy. Anyways, we ordered the mobile food at the little restaurant. So as soon as we got the notice that it was ready, my husband and I just walked over, picked it up, brought it back to our pool chairs. We ate food, we went swimming, then we relaxed in the hotel room for a while. My mom and I just like read our Kindles. Milo was watching his shows. And then in the evening, we got ready again, walked back into the parks, did dinner. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, before you leave the park to go have your rest at the hotel, book a ride that you want to go on for the evening so that you already have it booked. So my husband and I, on that day, that's when we were going back to the park in the evening by ourselves, we booked the Incredicoaster for the evening. So it was at like 6:45 or 7 p.m. or something. So we knew, because it'll fill up. Like by the end of the day, all the Genie Plus bookings start to fill up and then you notice it's not available anymore. So before you leave the park for your afternoon break, if that's what you're going to do, make sure you book your evening ride. So we booked that. And so we knew we would go back to the park, have dinner, and we had that ride booked to not have to wait in line. So that is smart. And then you have dinner, you do a ride or two, and then they always have evening shows that start at 9 or something. Or you could go back at 5:30 p.m. for the parade. You definitely have to do that one day because that was so freaking cute. Like, oh my God, I can't even. So that's my ideal day. The Genie Plus is definitely worth it. A lot of people ask that question. It is definitely worth it. Especially, like I said, you have to be at the park when it opens. I know it sounds nuts to wake up so early on vacation, but you will get to do so much more if you're there when the park opens. Trust me. And I was a person that was like, never. Like, I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. to be at the park. Like, not a chance. Now I get it, you know? And like I said, I was not a Disney person before. And now I cannot wait to go back. And I really want to go back around the holidays because everything is decorated for Christmas and the holiday season. And They even have like merch and like Disney things that are holiday themed, and Mickey Mouse and Minnie are in their little holiday outfits. Like, I can't. Okay. The Christmas lights, the Christmas trees. Like, I just want to go so badly around the holidays or Halloween. Both of those. And someone told me before that they decorate for Halloween and it's like fall vibes and Halloween. And then on October 31st, if you sleep over and then on November 1st, you go to the park, it's Christmas. I don't know if this is like a myth, but somebody said if you go to Disney and you sleep over on October 31st, you experience like Halloween all day October 31st, and then you wake up on November 1st and it's Christmas everywhere. Like, I need to experience this. Okay. The mobile food orders, unreal. Every single restaurant and place in the world should just function in that way. Like, it's genius. Another thing about the app that was incredible, you can open up an interactive map of Disneyland and it'll show you exactly where you are. And then you could do like a filter and you can say, show me all the attractions, and it'll like, label all the attractions around you so you know what to book next or what's around you. But then at the same time, you could also filter to do dining options and it'll show you everything. Or you can select washrooms. How genius is that? Because a lot of their washrooms are tucked away. Like, you can't really see them. It's not like big in your face, like washrooms here, because that takes away from the cuteness of all the little areas, right? So the washrooms are kind of tucked away, but it's shocking. If you go to the filter, show me all the washrooms, like there's going to be a washroom right next to you. And we never once waited in line to use the bathroom, which is like, it blows my mind. Disney knows what they're doing, like the food, not like the bathrooms, the everything, like they know what they're doing. Okay. Our favorite rides were, so if you go to Toontown, it's for smaller children, but I highly recommend going to Toontown and looking at Minnie Mouse's house. And they have Mickey Mouse's house and you can tour through them. It's like the cutest thing in the world. That's where my butt got wet. And we were trying to be cute and take pictures and videos in Minnie Mouse's backyard because she had this little tea set up. And of course, my mom's chair was bone dry. And then I sit on my chair and it's like flooded. So my butt got soaking wet. Luckily, I was wearing my Lululemon pants that dry really quickly, but I was trying to stand with my butt facing the sun all day so it would dry quick. But yeah, go to Toontown. If you have small kids, that's where you're going to want to be. They have the cutest, I think it's called like Mickey Mouse's Railroad Escape or something like that. It's so cute. You're in the little railroad cart, but it's all the imagery and the graphics that you're passing and the story of it. Like, it's just so cute. Milo's favorite ride that we went on 3 or 4 times is the Railroad Big Thunder one. Like, it's pretty quick and it's pretty scary. And he loves it. He's still talking about it. My husband and I went on the Incredicoaster, and Milo was not tall enough to go on that, thank God, because it's intense. It was so fun though. So that was really fun. And I will say, for height requirements, like Milo could go on almost everything except for, I think it was Indiana Jones, which seemed to be really popular. Like, it booked up really quickly, but we never got to go on that one. So he wasn't tall enough for that. He wasn't tall enough for the Incredicoaster. He wasn't tall enough for, I think there was like 3 things that he wasn't tall enough for. But other than that, he could go on almost everything. I think he's 42 inches. If you download the Disneyland app and you click on all the attractions, it'll list them and it says the height requirements right on them, which is really nice. My least favorite ride, Guardians of the Galaxy. And maybe you guys are hearing this and you're like, what? That's the best ride. Like, so many people love it. That was my nightmare. And the moment I realized what kind of ride it was, I immediately wanted it to stop. Immediately. Like, and Sarah told me, she's like, you have to go on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's so cool. Like, it's good. It has a drop. So I was expecting like one big drop at the end of the ride. The whole thing is like drops and reverse drops, like shooting you up. So imagine you're in an elevator, sitting in an elevator with like a little seatbelt. You're falling like at lightning speed, and then they're fucking shooting you up to the roof at lightning speed. And the whole time, like, Milo was right beside me, my little tiny child baby, my little baby love, sitting beside me. The first time it drops, terror on his face, like eyes filling up with tears. I was like, oh my God, this is just the beginning of the ride. It's going to keep going on and on and on. And I was like hovered over top of him, just saying like, it's okay. Like, you're doing so good. Like, we're going to be fine. It's going to be over soon. Like, don't worry about it. But meanwhile, in my head, I am like shitting my pants. Every time we drop or get shot up, like my brain is scrambling. And then as soon as it like starts to get better, we drop or shoot up again. And I was like, oh my God. And my mom was on the other side of Milo. And after the ride was over and we were trying to recover, she's like, wow, like the graphics on that ride were so good. Like, that's the best graphics I've seen like so far. And I said, I did not see a thing. My eyes were closed the entire time. I did not see one thing in that ride. I don't know what was happening. Like, I left my body. It was like an out of body experience. And my mom was like, yeah, when they brought us all the way up to the top, the doors opened and you could see the whole park like lit up. I was like, wow, that sounds incredible, but I did not see one thing. And Sarah did say, she's like, Milo's not going to like this one. But because he liked the other roller coasters, I was thinking, oh, he'll be fine. Like, he's loving the scary rides, like the quick rides. But this is not a roller coaster. This is like dropping up and down over and over again. There's no like other movement involved. So yeah, I probably should have cleared up exactly what kind of ride it was before that. But yeah, my poor little baby, like every time it would drop, like his butt, like he's off the chair. My mom said she was off the chair too. I don't even know if I was, because I was not in my body. So yeah, that was my least favorite ride. It's what my nightmares are made of. If you have been to Disneyland a while back, that ride, Guardians of the Galaxy, used to be the Tower of Terror. So that's a more appropriate name for it. I'm not gonna lie. Tower of Terror. Oh boy. That is all I'm going to share about Disney today. I am going to go through the questions that you guys put up on Instagram, and I'm going to work on those answers and add them to the highlight reel on my profile. I also will be editing our vlog. I used my cool new little vlogging camera during that trip, and I'm going to put something together. Yeah, so that's my Disney experience, and I honestly cannot wait to go back. Every single thing that you can buy at Disney is such good quality. Like this hat that I'm wearing, the sweater that I bought, even their stuffies. Like Milo, this is the first thing he picked out at Disney, was this Pluto stuffy. Their stuffies are such good quality. The food, I bought these little lemon cookies in a bag from like a gift shop. They're like these little Mickey Mouse cookies. Unreal. I was like, I wish I would have bought 5 bags of these and brought them home. I'm just in awe, you know? And I cannot wait to go back. I want to do one of those runs that Sarah did. because it's like you're going to Disney, but also with a purpose, and it's health related, you know? So anywho, that is it for me for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at the Mom Room Podcast. So have a good, what day is this coming out? Thursday. Have a great Thursday, a great Friday, and a great weekend. My birthday's coming up, so that episode is going to be fun. I'm working on the idea of what I want my birthday episode to be, because it will be on a Thursday, so there will be a solo episode out on my B-Day. So stay tuned for that. All right. Oh, and I'll keep you guys posted on the Patreon. That is coming soon, and I cannot wait. All right. Bye.